Hi, I'm Valerie Thomas from the Artisan Shop and Studio in Gallipolis, Ohio. Some of you have had family art night with me, and some of you might not have, but I just want us to have fun, and you can stop this video whenever you need to catch up or pause the video, but I want to make sure that you know that this is going to be your painting, and we will paint this painting, and it's from your book that you'll be receiving, Wherever You Are, My Love Will Find You, by Nancy Tillman. And inside the book is the painting we will be doing, and you make it your own. We'll go through the basics and get the image down, and then if you want to do anything extra, we'll get to that. So let's get started. The first rule I want to remind some of you of, or let you know if you don't know yet, we always keep our brushes clean. I just put my brushes in the water, and be sure that before you either go start painting, to write your name and your title on the back, and then you can sign your name like I did. But also, there are no mistakes when you're painting. This is a way to be creative and you to do your own thing and your own style. There's nothing you can do that's wrong. Every brush stroke you make is the right one, and we just want to have fun together. So I'm going to get started, and usually I try to just make kind of an outline of where I'm going to put colors. So we're going to start off by our brushes are wet, and in between colors, if we're not blending colors, in between colors, make sure you rinse your brush out really well, and then when you dab it on the paper towel or a napkin, that most of that color has rinsed out before you go on to the next color. So right now I'm just going to kind of sketch it out with a blue paint. My brush is wet, but I did dab most of the water out of it, and I'm just going to sketch out where things are going to go. So first of all, I try to work from the background forward. So the sky it's white or gray if you want to paint it gray. I'm going to just leave it white, but you're welcome to put clouds in the sky, or or maybe not paint it blue, but maybe a very, very light blue. But I'm leaving the sky white so we can see the other different elements of the picture. So I'm just going to kind of go like this. I've just kind of made a space for where the trees are going to go, and then off from the trees about, I would say, almost the middle of the canvas, we're just going to put where the water horizon is, and then we've got some grass going along a path, so I'm going to just make the little pathway, and then it continues on, but we're going to kind of sketch out where the bench is going to go, and we've got two big pandas, the cutest things, and then a little girl with a hat right here. And then, as you can see, the pathway continues on past them. So we're marking that out. So basically we have everything marked out, and so we'll go ahead and start with the water. The water is blue, but you're welcome to, what I like to do is just kind of, let's see, make sure I get that blue on there. And at first I just put basic colors down, and then you can go back and you can make them prettier or more detailed, but we'll just get the basic colors down first. It's kind of like doing a wash sketch and then you actually fill in with the paints. So the next is going to be so there's the sky, and then the farthest thing away next would be the ocean or the lake, and then now we're going to do grass. Well, with grass, we don't have green, so we're going to be mixing colors today. That way you don't have to dip your brush in between the two colors. But the two primary colors that create green are blue and yellow. So yellow is a very light color and blue is a darker color. So what you want to do is just barely take a little blue and then start mixing green. I can't really tip it that well, but see, blue and yellow makes the green. So we're going to put green on here where the grass is, and then makes a little more blue to the yellow, making more yellow than the blue. The darker colors always make the lighter colors dark. So just a little bit of blue will do the trick. Okay, and we have a little bit of grass here, right there, and then this here is where I painted that. And again, the colors don't have to be perfect yet because we're going to make them fancier, like with grass and flowers and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to keep mixing that same green, and I'm going to fill in down here and around there. And that's the path. We go down beside where we put a little bench. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect right now because we're going to paint over it. This dries pretty quickly. Oh, I need to mention, this is acrylic paint. So acrylic paint it's not washable. So if you get it on your clothes, make sure they're clothes that your mom doesn't mind you getting paint on. That's one thing about other paints that you don't have to worry, they're washable. But acrylics will stay on your clothes forever. Okay. Okay, again, this is just an indication of the colors we're going to be using. So we can let other places dry until we add something to them. Okay, the trees are going to be last, so we'll just concentrate on this area right here for now. We have two adorable panda bears and a bench. With the bench, I need you to mix more green, blue and yellow, but this time we're going to take just a little teeny bit of black and mix that separately, and it just makes kind of an army green, a darker green. Okay, and then the bench has like 3 slats. Excuse me. And then it holds it together. Mine's kind of dripping because I'm holding it up, but you'll be having your canvas board flat. Okay, again, I said we're just making out where where things are going for now. Okay. We got that. So let's now work on a little teeny bit of black mixed with white. And I noticed I rinsed my brush and I got all the, not all the water, but a lot of the water out of the brush. But you can still have a little bit, it'll be damp. We're gonna, let's see, we're gonna do a little bit of black with the white, which makes gray. And we're gonna put that on the little pathway. Right here. Remember, these little places are your pandas and the little girl in the middle. And then as you can see, the sidewalk goes, it's like a little path, a stone path, goes on over here, here, and here. So go ahead and just fill in some gray. We'll make it lighter as we go. Okay, so that's gonna go off to the side, and I'll get some more green in there. Okay, there we go. And again, this looks funny, I'm sorry. It's just because I'm holding this up and painting. All right, the next thing we want to do is, I'm rinsing and blotting. I'm gonna actually put mine down for a second because it's dripping a little too much. And I'm just going to take the white paint, just plain white paint, and I'm gonna paint they're kind of like ovals, kind of an egg shape. Just paint white where we made spaces here, just paint that white. And then we'll make them into bears in a little bit. Okay, and the little girl, she has, I think it's a little girl, has a little yellow hat on, so because it's a kind of a light yellow, I'm just going to go ahead and use my white brush, and I'm going to just tip it into the yellow, so there's just a little yellow on the tip with the white. And then I'm going to just make kind of a circle for her hat, and then it has like a, what do you call that, a rim around her hat. And I'm going to rinse it because I got the basic color of the yellow. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the trees, because we'll work on a different area. So we'll work on the trees, and your teachers wanted them to look a little more like spring rather than what was in the picture. So we picked pink and purple to paint blossoms on the flowers. And so pink is red and white, and purple is red and white and blue. So I'll first do the pink because that's farther in the distance. And I want my bigger brush. So I have my bigger brush, and then I'm going to seems strange, but I'm just gonna like put the tip in the red, and then pick a little place in the white, and then put a little white on the tip. So red, you don't have to rinse in between, just find a place on the edge, red, and on the edge of the white, and then you have it like this. And then we're gonna start just the idea of the little pink tree area, which goes down to the bear. And this is kind of behind the purple blossoms, so we're just gonna do just enough to get there. And we'll fix that too. We'll make it more interesting after we get more details in. Okay, so I'm just dabbing. I'm just kind of pushing the brush, not scrubbing, just touching the brush like this onto the canvas. Now we'll do the purple, and again, purple is blue and red and white, or blue and red, but we want them to look kind of pastel purple, so we're gonna make it a little lighter than a dark purple. Okay, and then, so I mixed my blue and red and made the purple. Then I'm gonna, again, on the edge of the white, just dab in a little of the white, and then we're gonna do the purple flowers up here, and then we'll add more white later after it dries a little bit. So we're gonna put purple flowers here, so I can get it to stay still. And they'll look better when we add more white. Right. Red, white. Ooh, I got a little bit too much blue. Red. And you can mix that purple . And as you're mixing, if it's not the same color, I like when you're not using exactly the same color. But we're just getting this tree in, and okay, we're gonna let that dry now. Okay, then I'm going to take the little brush, I'm putting the big brush back in to the water, just let it sit, because I'm going to use the little brush. And the little brush, I want to make sure it's wet, but not too wet, and then I'm going to dip it in the black. Make sure it's maybe a little bit wetter. And then we're going to just real freely, free-handed, we're going to come up here and we're going to do little dark branches out of the tree. Some coming out here. And I like it kind of do it where it doesn't have to be so exact, but we'll get that in there. Okay, I'm going to rinse my black, and then I'm going to mix a little bit of the white with the black, but just don't use too much black all at once. Do more of the white, but dark enough so we can see it on the sky. And then we're going to just take our brush and make another branch like that. And some branches off of it. And then another one that comes out here. And then you just kind of make branches like that. There. And then after we put these branches in, after that all dries a little bit, we'll go back over and put some more prettier, lighter blossoms, so they look more spring-like, but that's just the basic color. Okay, now we're going to go down here to our pandas, and I rinsed my brush, my smaller brush, and I dried it off, I wiped it off, and now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the body and the ears of the pandas. It's so simple. We just put a little ear there, a little ear here, and then this one is turning to the side, so his ear is more like that. Now dip it in the black. We've got it. He's got his other ear here. Okay, and then on the sides of the bears, you're looking at their backs, so part of the black that a bear has on the panda bear will be just painted right there above the line of the bench, and then we can clean that up later. He's sitting sideways, so his black goes like that. Above this line, we'll make sure we clean up the bench so it looks more like a bench. Okay, now to the shape of the panda on the right hand side, I'm going to add a little bit of nose right here. Kind of like a rounded triangle, and we'll outline him a little bit better. But like I said, you can clean it up, add more details than you want. I mean, whatever you want to make it, because this is your painting. Okay, so I didn't finish. I want to do his little eye. I can do his little eye right here. And then he has a little nose right there. And let's see his ears. There we go. Sometimes the bristles with your brush might kind of spread out depending on how you use it. And so if that's the case, if you're going to make, if you don't have a small enough brush, I think your brushes that you got in your sets are pretty small, so you'll be able to get good detail. But if you ever need to, rinse your brush out and just roll it between your fingers, and it gets more of a point to it if you need that for more detail. Okay, so now we have things are kind of wet, so I'm going to go back to everything that we've already painted and find the driest place. We'll probably go back and we're just going to be doing more details on things right now. So we have all the basic colors down, but now we want to kind of make them a little prettier, a little more outlined. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my small brush that I cleaned out and I rolled it in the black, and I'm going to go back and I'm just going to start outlining the bench better with the black. And the braces on the back that hold the bench together, those are black. So I'm going to go ahead and do the black. And I'm just getting my little brush. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to see what they're sitting on. And these are the braces that keep them in the ground. And then I'll go ahead and just kind of move my brush side to side across the back of the bench so we know where the wood is. I'll get a little more paint. And then this. they're seating on. And if it does not spread very easily, you just add a little bit of water to your paint. It'll spread a lot easier like that. So I'm gonna make this their seat. And then I'm pretty sure 1, 2, 3. There's 3 boards, but under the last board, you can see their little panda bottoms that are right here, and the little girls, and then right here. I'll outline him a little better. But I'm just using the black to kind of outline things so they stand out a little bit more. Okay. I rinsed the black out again, and now I think I'm going to get a little white on the tip, and I'm just going to make an indication of where their little panda bottoms are. There. Little panda bottoms. Okay. Now the next thing is, because this I did a lot of black in here, I'm going to wait till that dries, and then I'm going to go back over it with some other things to indicate that it's not just black. I'm going to mix some of the green in there. So let's go back to the ocean and get your big brush and clean it out. And then I'm going to do that, tipping my brush in the color, a little bit of blue, a little bit of white, and then I'm just going to kind of make swishy marks with those colors, so it looks kind of a little bit more like water. Okay, then I'm going to go back with this brush, and I'm going to do a little bit more to the grass and the gravel around here. So I'm going to mix my green again. That's yellow and blue. Yellow and blue. And then I'm kind of going to, I think it's in your picture, it's real light greenish yellow along here. I'm just going to go like that. And then I think down here are some grass, but just to touch up that color a little bit. And mix some more green, which is blue and yellow. And I'm going to start doing that down here a little bit. See, it used to look kind of see-through, but now we're gonna make the grass a little thicker. Black mixing in there, but that's okay because the bench is going to be making a shadow anyway. So blue and yellow. Oops, a little too much blue. A little more yellow. We just are trying to get more paint, thicker paint on the green. So that's some green grass. Make sure everything is blended around. Okay, now that we have it kind of wet, then we can just take your brush without rinsing and just dab it in the yellow on the tip like that, and then around the bench I'm just putting some grass up front, so a little bit in the yellow, tip in the yellow, and let's get some grass right there so it looks more interesting. And then back here we can just kind of make it any way we want it to look. I think I want a little more yellow along here. There we go, and maybe in here. Okay, now I think I'm done with the green for now. And then I'm going to go to the little path, and I'm just going to get a little bit of black, tapped in a little bit of white, and I'm just going to make this a little more interesting looking, make it look like gravel by just touching the tip of the brush on there. And then it looks a little more textured in the gravel. A little bit up here. Okay. So I think I want to do a little more dots of white. It looks a little rougher. Okay. Now I think the flowers are getting drier, so let's finish up the flowers on the trees. And we've got the blue. Let's start with the pink. I'm going to go white first on the tip, touching it into the white, and then a little bit of red. Just dabbing it in the red, and then now we're gonna do some brighter blossoms that are a little bit prettier, a little bit spring there, and then rinse it, and we're gonna do the same thing with the purple flowers. So we're gonna blue and red, and mix that together, and you get purple. But after we mix our purple, then we're gonna go, okay, we've got all that purple that we've mixed on our brush, and we're just gonna tap it into the white. Tap it into the white a few times, and then we're going to start making our, what kind of blue? I need more red, don't I? That doesn't look right either. There's our purple. And keep just dabbing it in the white, and then dabbing it onto your canvas, and looks like more spring flowers. Maybe a little more in the purple. And I just dab them like all over. No rhyme nor reason, just where I want some of those white blossoms. Get a few more out here. Okay, I'll cover up some of that black. Okay. Okay, so the trees look a little better. But if you notice, we have a white trunk coming from the side of the painting. So we'll wait a little bit to put that in there. Then let's see. I think we want to work a little more on the bench. And we're almost done. But again, this being your painting, if you're not done, you don't have to be done. You can do whatever you want. So I just want this bench to look a little more like a bench. So I'm getting that green again, but I'm using my little brush. And a little bit of black. Not too much. You want more green than black. And I'm going to just paint one more color on there. Let's see, and that's where they're sitting. And I think I'm going to drag my greenish into the white a little bit. And then this is the top of their bench, and the sun shines on it, so that's what you see, is just where the bench is reflecting the sun. I'll put a little bit there. Okay, that stops there. Okay, maybe a little bit here, a little down here. There. Okay, now let's fix that little girl's hat. Her hat's yellow, yellowish orange, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow, and I'm just gonna make her hat look more like a hat. There. Now she's got her hat on, and they have their arms around her, and I'm gonna make the little shadow right down here with where the white is on the pandas, and then just a little bit there so they know where they're sitting. I'll fill that in. Let's see. Those come out, don't they? I'm gonna go back, and I'm just fixing little things that I see. But another thing is, you can paint something too much, and then it gets kind of muddy looking, and there's not clarity in the details. So I always say less is more, so the less you paint on something, the better it'll be. And like I said, there are no mistakes. They're happy opportunities to make something different that you didn't even know you could do. You make lots of discoveries when you paint. Okay, I just have a little more green on here to make the bench a bench. Yellow and blue. A little bit of black. Part of their bench. Oops, still coming out a little gray. So those are the basics for this painting, and make your masterpiece. Let's see, have I forgotten anything? Oh, of course. Last thing, don't forget your signature and artist license. You can put it wherever you want, but I'm going to put mine, I think in black. And I use the littlest paintbrush I can find. So your little paintbrush, make sure it's wet and pick a color. And then my name is Val, Miss Val, so I paint a V, A, L. And that's in cursive, if y'all have done cursive. Otherwise, it's V-A-L, and you can sign it anywhere you want. Not my name, but your name. And you can also, when it's before you start or after it's dry, label it on the back. And I hope you have fun with this and enjoy your book and all your wonderful art materials. And we'll see you hopefully next time. Thanks for joining me, and have fun painting.